Already, Rise of the Skywalker has proven itself to be a somewhat polarising entry to the franchise, so I've decided to express some appreciation for what I believe is a typically underappreciated entry to the franchise, Solo, A Star Wars Story. Chronicling the earlier years of Han Solo and his gradual evolution into the scruffy-looking nerve herder audiences were introduced to in A New Hope, the film is generally enjoyable. Firstly, the actors are well cast and entertaining. Alden Ehrenreich embodies the cunning, roguish, lackluster attitude of Han Solo. Emilia Clarke provides a layered performance as the love interest. Donald Glover excellently captures the playful theatrics of Lando Calrissian by acting slightly juvenile and gambling heavily, like a childish gambler. Okay, I tried. Woody Harrelson is unsurprisingly charismatic in his authoritative role, and Chewbacca delivers every line clearly and with such conviction. He's also excellently trained. One area in which this film triumphs while some other Star Wars films either fail at or avoid is humour. Usually the role of comic relief in Star Wars films is reserved to a single character or a small group, causing a disconnect between them and the general feel of the universe. But this film offers an underlying sense of necessary self-awareness and playfulness that incorporates plausibility into a setting that is so far removed from reality. Almost feeling reminiscent of the Guardians of the Galaxy, although Guardians is a film I much prefer, there is a tonal similarity between the two. In fact, the film's adventurous spirit and equal embracing of outlandishness and seriousness broadly reflect the spirit of a standalone comic book, or as it were, a solo comic book. While simple, the plot is coherent, exciting, and thanks to some surprisingly complex and subversive characterization, avoids complete predictability. Conflict is quickly established, meaning the film can administer tension when required, and a welcome sense of escalation and development can be found. Another intriguing feature of the film is the music, with some surprisingly experimental, ethereal interludes that really enhance the film's personality, sometimes being reminiscent of the Ghost in the Shell score. Overall, I am surprised that general perception of the film is so low. I am not sorry for that one. Star Wars traditionalists may have been deterred by the fact that, by comparison to the main Star Wars films, the scale and consequence of this one is relatively minimal. However, as a prequel that only used the name of the franchise as the secondary title, these factors were clearly indicated. In my opinion, it doesn't harbour any more obvious faults than other recent Star Wars movies, and even the earlier films were rife with dialogue issues that are forgiven because the strengths outweigh the weaknesses. I believe this also to be the case with Solo. The strengths outweigh the weaknesses. And as enjoyable as it may be, it's not a flawless, revolutionary work of cinema. In the name of balance, the problems will be highlighted. One major problem is the darkness. By which, I don't mean the film tells a necessarily sinister story, I mean literal, physical darkness that in no way services the mood or narrative. Certain scenes are simply poorly lit, and conversely the action of these scenes is occasionally difficult to comprehend despite the simplicity of the plot. This is actually a common criticism of this film, made even in several other positive video reviews. The same issue is detailed in the Cinema Wins video Everything Great About Solo, as well as the Cosmonaut Variety Hour video Solo is Fun. You guys are just mean. A less frequently addressed issue is with villain Dryden Voss, who in spite of Paul Bettany's strong performance is a fairly underdeveloped character lacking true nuance. The film does show that despite his psychotic tendencies, he can behave affably and lives an extravagant party-based lifestyle, but these ideas are barely present and are never utilised for the full dramatic or comical potential they offer. The only other issue arrives in the form of robot companion L337. As with all performances in this film, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is well cast. It is in characterisation that this figure suffers. It's never entirely clear if she's intended to be a complete parody of social justice, or slightly humorous but otherwise genuine commentary on the topic. Something I assume would have been made clearer in the original Phil Lord and Chris Miller script. Even with these faults embraced, Solo is well performed, paced, directed by Ron Howard, humorous, exciting, and ultimately an underrated Star Wars story that easily earns a 7 out of 10. Scattatapulai, zapapulai, papapulai, scattatoopat, doopap, ziddly-eye, haddy, hori ho, haddy, hori ho, haddy, scattatapulai, zapapulai, papapulai. I wish Cab Calloway was responsible for at least some Star Wars music.